What's up, bud? I can't.
How's it going there, bud?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bud.
Oh,
Welcome to episode 1 of Live in the Holler with yours truly, the Holler Boys.
oh yeah.
So, Joe, what do we do first, buddy?
I know what I need to do. I need to quit saying, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bud.
Well, we actually had some pretty good love on the first intro to the video, so
We did.
that's a good sign.
So, thank you to everyone that is showing the support. We'll be serious here for a second. We'll all put the pen down for you guys. We do greatly appreciate everyone that supports and shows love to the channel. We are still working out some kinks. You guys are bearing with us. So yeah, we do appreciate it.
Yeah, like we said in the first video, we have $20 mics.
That no matter where we clip them, you can't hear it.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
it's
why our
almost-
hands are up by our mouths to
Yeah.
hold the microphones.
It kind of sucks, not gonna lie.
So if you see me go like this, because my hand gets tired. So that's why it seems like I'm holding a pen.
Yeah,
Joe does not have a pen.
it's gonna suck.
Tis a loser.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, first episode, I guess we just get into it. Not really much to talk about, but we'll figure something out.
Oh yeah.
We always do.
Usually, when we sit down and talk, something funny comes up.
Yep. Got the coffee that Joe nicely spilled all over my truck.
I didn't mean to. I did not mean to.
Someone doesn't know how to let go of a button.
And I'm sorry to the quick fill down in town for leaving that mess.
Speaking of downtown, so I went to Walmart last night, okay, local Walmart. And I walked in, and there's these, like, it's a tent, and it's got Girl Scout cookies in it. Right?
Yeah.
So the little girls are running around trying to sucker people into buying Girl Scout cookies, walking in and out of Walmart. So I avoid them going into Walmart. I avoided them like they had like Ebola or something. You know, I was avoiding them on purpose to my fullest extent. I walk in there, I avoided them. Cool, great. I walk out of Walmart, and before I could do anything, as soon as that door opened for me to step outside into Walmart, two girls run up, stop me dead in my tracks, and they have like those big puppy dog eyes, and they're like, "Would you like some Girl Scout cookies?" I'm like,
You can't say no to that.
you can't say no to that.
Which ones you get?
Samoas. I got their last box of Samoas, like the coconut ones, because those are my favorite. So I walk up to the table, and I saw one box of Samoas left. And I figured, you know, even if they didn't have my favorite, I'd buy cookies anyways, and I'll just give them to someone else. And so I bought the cookies. And yeah, that was probably the best $6 I've spent
Yep.
in the past couple of days.
Did you eat the whole box?
I haven't touched a single cookie yet. They are in the truck right now. Yeah, they're my emergency cookies. I bought Girl Scout cookies. Well, I bought them late last night, and because I also had Taco Bell, and I had leftover Taco Bell, so I ate the Taco Bell.
That wouldn't be a good combination.
Yeah, no, Taco Bell and coconut don't mix.
No,
especially with
no.
Baja Blast, because I had a Baja Blast as well.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't mix.
Yeah, if you go to Taco Bell and you do not get Baja Blast,
something's wrong.
Then what are you doing with your life?
Something's wrong. I usually mix my drink, so.
It's a funny story. Actually, I didn't like Baja Blast at the beginning. And then it got to the point where I would only get Baja Blast from Taco Bell.
Just from
Taco Bell. Like, I wouldn't buy it from the bottles or anything because it tastes different.
Yeah.
Like, I like it better.
As soon as you go right into Taco Bell, it's like crisp.
And
crisp taste.
Then I was like, whatever. Like, Baja Blast is Baja Blast at this point. It's kind of like if you go to McDonald's. Like, McDonald's Coke tastes different than if you buy the bottled Coke.
I don't drink Coke.
You're a Pepsi guy.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Pepsi guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll drink, basically,
I'm just surprised you didn't get the peanut butter Girl Scout cookies.
They didn't have any.
They didn't?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you would have told me
they were on slim pickings because they were only there until 8, and it was like 7:30 when I bought my cookies.
But they're running around just trying to get anybody to buy them.
Dude, they were stopping people like from going into Walmart, trying to get them to buy.
Like,
stopping
were they
people
just
from
like
coming
walking
out.
right in front of them? Like, stop!
Yeah, like that's like I was like the door open, like I said, and I was getting ready to walk out, and both of them just ran right up in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. They suckered me right into it. But then again, how can you say no to Girl Scout cookies?
No, you can't.
Like it's
The fact that you're trying to avoid them.
I was like head down walking, acting like I wasn't listening or nothing like that. I was avoiding them like they had the plague. I seriously was. I was like, I had the extra to get it, but I just didn't want to. I know that makes me sound like a horrible person, but I just didn't want cookies. Like, I didn't go to Walmart to buy cookies. I went to Walmart literally to buy windshield washer fluid for the truck because I ran out. That's all I went to Walmart for.
Oh my.
And I walked out of there with windshield washer fluid and a box of Girl Scout cookies.
That's awesome, though.
No, it's not. It's not awesome.
That's awesome.
Cost me more money than what I wanted to spend. That's all right, though.
This man's on a budget. Quite literally.
We broke that budget yesterday, so it was fun.
Yeah. You gotta tell him what you bought yesterday.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's still like that type of purchase where
you're like, what am I doing?
Why did I buy it? Like, I need it, but why did I buy it right now? Like, there's other things I could have used that money for.
Yeah.
But, it
is what it is.
What I forgot to get when I went to the dealership? I forgot to get those 2 bolts that I needed that I screwed up. I forgot to get those.
You drove all the way out there.
I drove all the way out there to look at the prices for some other stuff. And I was going to get those bolts as well. And I forgot to get them.
No.
So that's next week's problem.
Yeah.
You just went on
youth retreat.
How was that?
It was pretty fun. We had a guy come out. His name is Biz. They call him. Came out and preached. Talking. It was real deep. He was talking about where are you at in the inner circle. So if you guys could picture like a bullseye, on the outside, it's about how people are just there for God, just for the inheritance. Sorry, guys, that people are there just for the inheritance on the outside. But as soon as you step into the circle, you get that spark. And he was talking about how sometimes when we get the spark, I know especially when I went to the castle retreats as a youth, you'd always get that spark, but like 2-3 weeks later, the spark's gone.
Yeah, well, like as a youth, it's more of like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, because you go to something like that, you're around everyone, you feel comfortable with everyone. So like that's like the peak. And then you get away from everyone, you feel like you don't have the support like you did there. So you start to go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're right back to where you were down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then another event happens.
Then you're going up.
And it always seems like you reach the top right at the end of the event.
Yeah.
And like you said, like a week or 2 later, you start going back down.
But he was talking about how if you picture a bullseye, you always take those steps. We always start out just wanting the inheritance that God has for us. But our goal as Christians is to get to the center of the bullseye, and that's the true relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need. It's setting religion down to the side and having a relationship with the Father. That's the biggest thing. And yeah, but other than that, like, the message was awesome. And being able to work with the kids and talk to the kids, pray for the kids was the best. We had this one moment. Some kids we're down by Philly, came up to me and they said, "Weren't you here about 4 years ago?" No, not 4 years ago. They said, "When was the last time you were a youth here?" I said, "About 4 years ago." And they're like, "Oh boy, you unk." And I was like, "What?" You unk.
That's great.
So apparently,
Because-
I'm Unc.
Well,
To
Unc is
them.
like a sign of like respect
Mhm.
because like you're older, you're wiser, and everything else. Speaking of that, actually, I had a little incident like that. I don't want to say incident because it's kind of cool. I was doing a live on our TikTok, and it was going slow, and I was getting ready to end it. Well, then there was like 2 or 3 people came in, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up, Unc?" And I was just like, "What's up, guys?" Like it just threw me off because I've never been called Unc before. But it was weird because you had that happen. What was it, last weekend?
Yeah, last
Yeah,
weekend.
last weekend, and then I had that happen a few days later.
So
So
apparently, we're both
I
Unc.
guess I don't think they realize exactly how old we are.
No,
when they
I
say it.
told the kid, and I said, I'm only 22, and he's like, oh, you still Unc, you still Unc. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's great.
And he let me know. He's like, that's nothing disrespectful. That's like one of the most respectful things we can tell you.
Yeah, it's because
If we say it in a certain way.
you're older and wiser because you have more experience. So like you and I have more experience than they do,
Yeah.
but like mom and dad have more experience than we do.
But
So-
I won't call them Unc.
I'm not calling them Unc. No. Those are mom and dad.
Mom and dad. Yeah.
Speaking of my mom, so
Not my mom. He calls my mom.
yeah, my mom, my biological mom. I was talking to her the other day. I think it was last weekend.
Yeah.
So I always tell my mom. I joke around because I walk around a lot, and I'll say, like pimping ain't easy, all this other stuff. Which I'm not a pimp, guys. I'm really not. Okay. People think I have, girls. I don't. I don't. It's me, myself, and I.
In your car.
And in the
And
car,
Rexy.
yeah. But like I don't I'm not a player. I don't have girls lined up, nothing like that. Obviously. Like look at me. Come on, let's be real here.
Okay, Queso.
Yo, exactly.
it's
See,
like-
people think I look like Queso, so why would they? And but I was telling my mom a story, and she was just like, why are you like being a pimp? I said, I'm not a pimp, Mom. And she was like, no, well, you're acting like one. I was like, no, I'm not. Like, how am I a pimp? So it transpired into me always saying that I'm a pimp
Yeah.
to my mom. And she always asks me what I'm doing. And it's always the same, like, oh, I'm just hanging out with friends, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And she's like, oh, well, why are you doing that? Well, pimping ain't easy, Mom. Pimping ain't easy. If you're going to call me a pimp, I'll go into the role of it. And the one night, I'll just tell you the exact messages that I have between my mother and I. Because
He's pulling out the proof.
it's great. It is.
It is.
It's a funny story. I laugh every time I read it.
It is pretty funny, guys.
So
Stay tuned.
hold on, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I sent my mom a video on TikTok, and it was King of the Hill, and it was Hank Hill and Boomhauer.
Yeah.
And at the top it said like above Hank Hill is like my mom. And it was so like how's dating or something going like that. And it had Boomhauer going, saying his normal stuff and like you sound like my mom and stuff like that. So I sent that to my mom. And she goes, well, son? And I said, what? And she goes, when's it gonna happen? And this is where the pimp side of me came out. I was like, a pimp can't be tied down. Once a pimp, always a pimp. There's only 3 things I care about: heartbreaking, paper making, and booty shaking. They say, pimp, where you going? I say, I'm going where a hoe gets laid and a pimp gets paid. While they be standing on the corner, I'll be sitting in the shade. Because if they're dripping, I ain't tripping about my pimping. Pimp out. She goes, I'm sorry in advance for the language, guys. But she goes, I didn't raise no hoe for a son. And I said, Mom, I'm a pimp. She goes, I didn't raise a pimp either. So I sent her a picture of me. It was just another Snapchat back, and in the background, it was playing "Pimp" by 50 Cent, and I put the words up on the screen, and she says, "I'm gonna beat you." And I just sent laughing emojis because at this point I'm just having fun. She goes, "I'm being serious," and I said, "Yeah, so am I." And she goes, "Okay, well, since you're a pimp, how you gonna tell everyone when you have a black and blue body from me beating you?"
Whoa.
So I sent her back 2 gifts, and the one is just some dude kind of like dancing, and he says, "Pimpin' ain't easy." And then the next one is a little girl standing there, and she like turns her head like this, and she goes, "You know it's hard out here for a pimp." And she goes, "Well, that's too bad. It's not hard for me to beat you."
Oh my
And
goodness.
then I sent back a gif of Medea. You know who Medea is, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's Medea. And it's her going and having like her sassy like look to it. It goes, "I'm a thug. I'm a real thug." And she goes, "I'm done with this conversation before I really drive out there and I beat you."
Oh my goodness.
But I just find it funny because like she started the whole pimp thing, and then like now that I play into it, she's just like, "I'm gonna beat you. Like you need to stop. Like that's not how I raised you." And I said, "I know it's not how you raised me, but you started it. I'm playing into
Oh
it."
yeah.
But it's just funny because like I'll sit there and I call myself Big Pimpin' to my mom all the time. And the one day she left her phone laying out, and I thought about getting on her phone and changing my contact name in her phone just to say Big Pimpin'. Then that way, every time I called her, it just popped up Big Pimp.
Big pimp. Your mama almost beat you.
Dude, she would too. She would. But no, it's all fun and games. She knows it's fun and games, and I just joke around about it. But it's just, it catches her off guard because I don't do it all the time. I just do it sometimes.
Yeah.
And it just catches her off guard every time I do it. It's great.
So yesterday when we were doing the intro, we were talking about our trip down to Pittsburgh to go to the football game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That story I will always remember because it was just me, you, Hezekiah, and was it Merrick?
There's someone
Merrick and
else with us.
Chauncey, or was it just Chauncey?
There's just Chauncey. No, there's someone else because there's 3 people in the back. Merrick wasn't with us, but who else was it?
I have no idea.
I forget who the third person
I
was.
thought it was Merrick at first.
It might have been. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyways, so
No, it wasn't. It was just Hezekiah and Chauncey.
no, because there was 3 people in the back seat because they had to pile in because someone kept moving their leg.
Josiah.
Yeah,
Josiah.
Squints.
How did I
Squints.
forget about Squints?
I'm sorry, Squints.
Oh my goodness.
So Joe bought a car.
For my brother.
It was a, what was it, 2012?
No, 2013
2013 Subaru Outback
manual.
with a 6-speed manual transmission.
Hey,
Which
your boy was
it's-
trying to learn manual.
it's hard to find manual transmissions.
Yeah.
And we replaced the motor in it, and it
No.
was
About that, me and Sean swapped a motor 13 hours. No?
it was like 8.
8 hours?
It would have been less if I wasn't sleep deprived.
Well, you worked on it a little longer than I did because I left to go get something to eat at my grandma's.
Yeah.
And I brought you
Yeah.
back a plate of goulash.
Yeah. Anyways, so we swapped the motor. We got it running somewhat okay. And it was like 2 days later we were going to the game.
Yeah, but before we left, we had to get a tension belt. Remember that? 'Cause the
Yeah.
tension belt snapped.
Yeah.
And then the car worked perfectly fine, so we were on
the
our
car,
way.
Yeah, the car was running beautifully.
Yeah.
And we left to go to the game, and we're like 2 hours from the game.
Yeah.
Because the game was down in Pittsburgh. It was a
Pitt and
Pitt versus,
whoa.
I forget who it was.
I
I
forget
don't
what
watch-
team that is.
I don't watch.
But they
college
have
football.
that. But they have that chant.
Yeah,
that
because
goes,
we invited Chelsea and the guy that she was talking to at
Yeah.
the time. So we're driving down there. It's a 2-hour drive. We left later than what we should have. So like by the time we got there, it would have been enough time to park and get to the game
Yeah.
and just watch, like just start the game. We barely even make it up the first hill. And I'm like, this is gonna suck. So instead of turning around in getting the car that was 100% and working at the time, we said, we're going to continue going to the car that's messing up.
Yeah.
And we'll get there if we get there. We pick everyone up. We get up the first hill. Everything's going smooth. After that, that's when problems started happening. Car was running like absolute doo-doo.
It was
Was
misfiring.
barely working, running on 2 out of the 4 cylinders. We got not even halfway there, and the car just completely shut off.
We're going to Pittsburgh.
To
20
Pittsburgh.
miles an hour.
Not even, because at one point, before it even just completely shut down, we're going like 10 miles an hour on the interstate.
Yeah, we're just driving down that little strip on the
Yeah.
side that says only emergency.
Yeah, emergency stopping only. And we're just driving down it with the 4-ways.
I'm so surprised the cop did not pull over
The whole time, we didn't see a single cop.
the whole time.
And
Like, it was crazy.
It surprised me, but the car just shut off. And so we get it down to a stop sign off the interstate. I get it going again just long enough so that we pull in like front of the barn and stuff. We're probably sitting there for like an hour
Yeah.
at least. So now we're an hour behind schedule. Get the car running. We get going. Longest drive to Pittsburgh ever.
I will
Normally,
never forget that.
it takes, I can get there depending on which car I take and how fast I drive. I can get there anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's if I'm stopping a bunch of times or if I'm just going straight down. It probably took us 3 hours to get there.
And we
That's
only
not
missed the first 10 minutes of the game, though.
That's not even including like us stopping or anything. It took us 3 hours. So with stopping and everything, it probably took us way longer. And yet somehow magically, we still only missed the first 10 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It
Isn't that
made
crazy?
no sense. Because normally those games start pretty well on time.
Yeah.
But by the time we sat down, I think the only thing that we missed was kickoff in the first play.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
And we sat there and we watched the whole game.
Going back and forth from it was
Yeah,
Florida,
we were changing.
wasn't it Florida State?
I don't think so.
Because Chelsea's man at the time was from Florida.
Mm,
No?
no. I forget who it was.
But no, we were going
don't
back
think
and
it
forth
was
from Pitt and this other team.
yeah, we were.
And the
we
worker
only
there.
we only did it because the security guard was getting mad.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guy that Chelsea was talking to and hanging out with, he kept saying that Pittsburgh Panther looks more like an otter
Than it does a Panther.
which we saw it, and yeah, it did. But he was making the security guard mad. We honestly thought that he was going to get kicked out.
Yeah, it was
And
funny.
then he started blaming us that we were in the wrong seats.
Yeah, that was
He
very
was just
random.
like, "Hey, you guys are in the wrong seats." We're like, "No, we're not.
Check our tickets, bud.
Like, these are our tickets. We're in the right seats. Like, we weren't in the right order,
Yeah, we weren't.
but we were in like the right
seating area.
seating area because I switched with Kaya because where Kaya sat, it had less leg room,
Yeah.
and I'm taller than Kaya, so I sat more towards the aisle so I could have the extra leg room, which still wasn't really a whole lot. But
Then
so we made him mad. We're leaving. Car runs worse somehow when we're leaving. It got to the point where
we had the
we
Uber.
called Chelsea. Chelsea took the other 3 home. So I'm nice, and Joe's like, "You can go ahead and go." And I said, "No, I'm staying with you in the car. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be mean and leave." Next thing we know, we're spending, what was it, like $130 some
It
dollars
was 130.
to Uber from the very outskirts of Pittsburgh all the way back here. That shout out to that old lady that accepted that Uber.
Oh my goodness!
We
Shout
had
out.
like 4 people accept it.
Then decline it.
Then they realized where we were going and how far of a drive it was, and like, yeah, no. And I'm like, okay, so at this point, we're not gonna have an Uber.
and the fact that this Uber moved to Pittsburgh and has been in the city, the town that we live in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
she's like, oh yeah, I've been
dude,
here.
we didn't get home until 3:00 in the morning, and then she turned around and she was perfectly fine with driving the 2 hours back to Pittsburgh, where she lived. She goes, "Oh yeah, I used to work night shift as a nurse and everything else, so it's fine. I'm used to it." I'm like, dude, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Like
shout
she was
out.
probably easily like in her 70s.
Yeah.
And she's listening to like opera music and stuff up front. Joe and I are like trying not to pass out. Like,
just so this old lady doesn't take us to a random
yeah,
spot.
yeah, because we had no idea. So I literally looked at Joe and I said, "Okay, Joe, if you realize I'm sleeping, you have to stay awake. And then if
Yeah.
you fall asleep, like right before you fall asleep, wake me up. Like
You never know.
you
what
never
could
know. Like I'll be an old lady if it means I'm living."
happen.
I'm not scared to throw hands with an old lady.
And that was the first Uber I've ever taken in my life. Like
That was my first Uber too.
dude.
That was our first Uber that we've ever taken.
I never trusted like someone else driving
Yeah.
that. I never.
But then we started
She
talking.
had a nice car though.
Yeah. It smelled good too. It
Oh,
smelled.
yeah.
It smelled like cinnamon rolls.
It's like she had like an oven up front and
Dude,
started
it
baking.
was. It was, man. Like it reminded. Like we were just sitting there, and we opened the door, and we get in the back, and Joe and I are kind of talking to ourselves quietly, like, okay, we got to come up with a plan in case she starts taking us somewhere, like to unalive us.
The fact that we have to worry about that in our society today.
The thing was, she was like half our height, and yet we're still sitting here making up a game plan on like what are we gonna do if she tries kidnapping us. First of all, she's like triple our age. Second of all, she's like half our height. We both can easily take her if she tries anything funny. But yeah, we're sitting here making a game plan if she takes us on what we're gonna do.
But the fact is, if she pulled out a gun,
one of us is dead.
Yeah,
like,
one of us.
Someone's gonna have to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. But yeah, it smelled like her car smelled like cinnamon rolls. She was talking about like the
I thought she was the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
You can't be saying that. But
I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness.
No, she was a sweet old lady. She said that she had like no problem giving us a 2.5 hour long car ride home. Car smelled fantastic.
Yeah, in all seriousness, she was awesome.
Yeah, she was great. I forget her name though. This happened 2 years ago? No, it was a year ago. Coming up on 2 years ago.
Shout out to my parents for paying for it though.
Yeah,
I was broke after.
They definitely helped out with that one because, well, at first they said that they were going to get a hotel room for us.
Yeah, and then
they were going to come down. Morning. Yeah, they were going to come down and help us and everything.
But then we would have to walk to the hotel.
Well, there was no hotel rooms available.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm fine. Like, if I got to walk a couple miles to a hotel, like, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Or we'll make it so the car will get there.
Yeah.
And, there's no hotels available. So we limped it
to a school parking lot.
A high school parking lot.
Where the football field was.
Where, mind you, we all walked to, except for you, because you stayed with the car. It was Hezekiah, Chauncey, and Squints and I. We all walked it was like 3 miles to this gas station. We got drinks and stuff, walked back, and
that's when the tow truck guy said, "Oh, we can't do it. You have to pay $700." And I said, "No."
And I was like, "Okay,
I'm not paying
we'll figure this. We'll figure this out, in the morning." And then that's when your mom was just like, "Oh, we'll just get you guys a hotel room. You pay us back, everything else." And no hotel rooms were available, so we limped it to like a high school football field that was next to this gas station that we walked to.
And I'm glad we got it there because they had cameras and everything.
Yeah, so we parked it underneath a lamp. There was a camera basically pointing right at it. We left a note and
a white.
Yeah, that way no one.
If you leave your car out, you have to leave something white to show them that you're coming back for the vehicle, or a note that's on the dash.
It doesn't necessarily have to be white, just something.
Just something hanging out the door.
Yeah, that way they're not towing it. So we just put, "Hey, car broke down. We're coming back to get it towed."
Yeah.
Everything else. Any questions? Like, leave your name and number, and then that way, if they do have any questions, they can get a hold of you.
Yeah.
So we take this Uber. We get home. It's 3:00 in the morning. And then that was our fun trip.
Then I had to make another trip all the way back out there in the morning with my mom and Ashlyn. And get it towed. Drive all the way to Josh's. Get it dropped off.
Yep.
Then go back home.
Yep.
Then we ended up selling the sucker.
We did.
Shout out to that guy too.
That guy messaged me It was like 2 weeks after we sold it to him. He's like, "Hey, yeah, the exhaust was plugged on it."
That was all that was
Which we checked the exhaust to begin with, and normally when it plugs, it's right there at the converter. So I checked that, but I didn't see it was plugged or anything. What happened was it was farther back in the exhaust in the resonator. Like a mouse got up in there and built a nest in the resonator, so it plugged it completely. And
so that's the only thing holding that cart from running.
yeah, he said that he got all that stuff out of there and the car ran perfectly fine.
That sucks.
Yeah, which
I could have probably used
is.
that vehicle right now.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's you know, a life. It was a fun experience. You know, think of the dad lore now that we have because of that. We can tell our kids not to trust Uber drivers unless they're old ladies and the car smells like cinnamon rolls. Those are the only ones you can trust, guys.
Oh
man! But it was an adventure.
The stories that we have to tell our kids. Oh my goodness!
Exactly, and we're still making more.
Always.
Like that's the goal, is to sit there and tell our kids the stupid things that we did, and then when they do the same stupid things, we get mad at them and say, "No, don't do that," because we know the outcome of
That is
them.
such a dad thing to do.
It really is. Like, how many of you guys have sat there and heard a story from your dad, and then you did basically the same thing, and then your dad gets mad, and then you threw the argument of, "Well, you did it, so why can't I?" And he goes, "That's not the point. Just because I did it doesn't mean you can do it." I get those. I get those stories all the time from my grandpa. He'll be like, you know, because my grandpa grew up in the 70s, in the 80s, and you know, he's telling me all these stories about him and his buddies going out and drinking and stuff like that. And then he goes, "If I ever catch you doing it, I'm gonna beat you." And it's like, A, I'm not going to, but B, you did it.
Yeah.
Like,
so like, why you gonna?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you gonna come after me and beat me if I do the same thing you did?
That's just a dad thing.
It really is. It really is.
Or a mom thing. Well,
Oh.
Ashlyn won because she was an angel growing up.
Anyways, mom has beat us quite a few times. And normally when I say mom, I'm talking about Joe's mom. I call Joe's mom. So if I'm talking about my mom, I will specifically say my mom.
Yeah.
If I'm talking about Joe's mom, I'll just say mom, because Joe knows who I'm talking about when I just say mom. So, but there's been multiple times that moms beat us for the stupid stuff that we've done. More you than me.
Oh yeah.
But that's also because you lived with her.
Of course.
I remember that one time. We were redoing your room in your guys' old house. Back when you lived up here.
Yeah.
And
right across from the church.
Yeah. Where's I stayed like a month. It was like right as COVID happened.
Yeah, right as soon as COVID hit, and the media was like, "Stay home, keep your face covered," and me and Sean were like,
"We're not doing that."
We're just like, "Hey, what's up, brother? What's up?"
We're out of here. Like, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna ride. So, but what we thought was, if we got it,
we got it. We got it.
We got the antibodies for it.
Yeah,
but that's what we were thinking.
We were redoing your room, like repainting it and stuff. And I remember we woke up the one morning and we're laying in the bed.
That story.
And your sister walked in. She just turned around and walked out of the room and goes, "Mom, they're being weird again." And your mom was just like, "Why? What are they doing?" "They're sleeping in the same bed." And Mom just looked at her and goes, And that's who they are.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, they can. I said, "I'm not sleeping on the floor."
It's a cold, hardwood floor.
I'm not sleeping on the floor. But
now if you go over to your brother's house and try to sleep in the same bed, they think it's weird. Like, we never did anything weird unless your name's Teddy. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're not going there. But it's just funny. Like, that's just our type of relationship. Like, we didn't care.
We usually slept butt to butt, not pole to pole. My wrestling coach always told me.
There was one time that we slept, like, my head was down by your feet, my feet was by your head, And
We kept kicking each
we
other.
kept kicking each other. And we're like, all right, we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
We are adults. Well, not really, because
Yeah.
you were still in high school. But we can sleep, backs to back.
Then we went off my wrestling coach's memo. Okay, it's pole to pole, hole to hole, but never pole to hole.
Exactly. Because, like, you have guys nowadays, like, if they have the chair bed, they're like, oh, let's put, like, dividers in between us. Why?
If I wake up cuddling, you wake up cuddling.
Probably sleeping like a baby then. But, like,
But we never actually woke up like that.
Sleeping in the same bed as another guy doesn't make you gay.
No, it doesn't. That means you're the boys.
Once you start doing weird activities with the other guy, that's when it becomes gay.
Yeah.
Unless you have socks on. And it's consensual.
Just kidding.
Once the socks are off, it's gay. Regardless. Like, if you're sleeping in the bed with another dude and you have no socks on, you're gay. But if you have socks on, no homo. It's not gay.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have socks on because you don't like sleeping with socks on or you can't sleep with socks on, as long as you declare no homo, then you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it's fine. Yeah.
But when we were doing the remodeling to the room, we would literally stay up, play Cold War, gunfight all night.
Oh, absolutely.
All night. Like, we'd play Fortnite once in a while whenever it was good.
That was back when it was good.
Yeah.
You didn't have, like, all these little Timmies and stuff.
Did you see that? I went on Fortnite last night.
I watched. Yeah, I saw that last night.
They have this bat in it now.
I love the sound effects. Love them. Oh, I got to sneeze. Sorry, dude.
Okay, I'm just saying. They need to take out the swords or anything like that because they are overpowered.
They are.
And then they have this, like, ice shooting gun that literally freezes you, I think. This guy kept shooting me with ice.
If I play Fortnite, I always just play OG.
Well, if it's actually on.
But then again, I don't really play Fortnite anymore. I play Call of Duty. Black Ops 6.
I want to get in the Cold War again because if we can go to the Gulag, that'd be awesome. Remember when I traded kills with that one guy?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
The guns were better. The chat was better.
I remember Black Ops 2 lobby chat.
Yeah.
Like, back then, like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, like lobby chat and like just game chat in general was ruthless.
You could say whatever you want and you will not get banned.
Like like
seriously though, you get onto the new Call of Duty now. You say I don't like you, and you get banned from chat.
You get voice banned.
Voice banned.
And it's like, really? Like the thing is the game's rated M for mature. And there's gonna be foul language in it. But then you have all these little Timmies that their parents hear because they don't know how to turn the TV down.
Exactly.
So you get the echoing through their mic.
And they're like, report them.
Exactly.
Report them.
They get reported, and it's like, okay, first of all, you just bought a 7-year-old a game rated M for mature, and yet you're gonna sit there and get mad. That's like going to a football game and then getting mad because they're not playing a hockey. Right?
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong for that kind of assumption? But like it's the same thing. Like it's the game's rated M for mature. It literally says rated M for mature, 17 plus. You're buying it for a 7-year-old, and then you're gonna get mad about the kind of language and stuff that you hear. See, the only thing I get mad about is when you have like the basement dwellers.
Oh my goodness.
That play it nonstop. And then they sit there and they act like they're way better than you. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry I go outside and touch grass.
Yeah.
Like seriously. I have a job, I have a life. I can't sit here in my mom's basement 24/7.
Like usually in the summer, the only time I really play games is in the winter. That's because there's nothing to do.
Or on a rainy day.
But usually when it's summer, I'm out fishing or just hanging out with the boys.
We're doing stuff because the weather's nice. Because during winter, it's cold.
There's nothing
early spring, it's raining 24/7.
Winter's always been depressing though. Like it really has.
So like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's days that are like nice during the summer where I just want to relax.
Yeah.
And so like I'll hop on for a little bit, but I'm not sitting there playing it 24/7 Like you had people that were like already master prestige, like level 100,
As soon as
like
like a week after the game was out.
like 2-3 weeks after the game was out. I'm like, dude, go outside and touch grass. Like I've
Yeah.
played it twice in like the 4 weeks that it's been out so far, which obviously it's been out way longer than 4 weeks now, obviously. But like back then when it was out for like a month, I'm like, I've played it like 4 times. And you have people already on like master prestige. And you're like, go outside, touch grass.
I remember when we were playing Cold War, we'd always get on around like 4, 5, maybe 6. But all the little kids would be getting on after school, and that'd be around like 3:30.
My favorite time is I always like it because the game normally comes out in like November,
Yeah.
October, November. Then you have all the little Timmies that can get it for Christmas. So you have all this cool stuff unlocked, and you already know what you're doing, especially with like the new Omni movement and everything that they introduced. You have all these little Timmies, and they get it for Christmas. The Christmas noobs.
Yeah.
And that's where most of your stuff comes because you get a double XP weekend because it's Christmas. You have all the new players that don't quite understand the new movement or the new guns or
They're
how they
trash.
worked. And they're lower level, so they have the base guns. And you over here with a fully kitted out, fully leveled up XM4 just absolutely mowing them down.
Where I was going with it is you always have the little Timmies on. Then you have the working class that get on. And all of them start, no, get out of the lobby. Get out of the lobby.
I like watching like the TikToks where it's like the little kids versus like the adults. And the little kids like trash talking like 1v1 me, I'm better than you. And then the kid gets absolutely dogged on by the other person and they start freaking out. Like, I'm gonna use this as an example. Nothing against Landon.
Yeah.
Okay. But like Landon will sit there and he's just like, oh, I'm better than you, 1v1 me, like all this other stuff. But yet the second you get a kill on Landon, he's like, you're so weird for using that. Like, no. Or like you could literally use just a preset loadout
Yeah.
that the game gives you and you get a kill. You're so weird. Like
Or-
you wanted this, my guy.
Or whenever we do sniper battles with them, holy crap.
Yeah, he's like, why do you guys want to do snipers? It's challenging.
It's challenging.
Instead of
It's one
sitting
shot.
there having a 100-round clip and
Unload it into
an
someone.
XM4, which is already an OP gun in the new Call of Duty,
Yeah.
where you can easily kill them. Snipers.
And every time.
And then
he'd always pull his secondary out and
Yeah.
shoot us with his pistol, or he'd go to the SMG.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, it's just a secondary. Okay, cool, but it's snipers only, bud. Snipers only.
One day, I'm hitting him with all these quick scopes, and he's like, "No, you're hard scoping." I'm like, "Sean, clip it."
I did. The next kill, I clipped it for you, and I was like, "That's."
Like I saw him
quick
coming
scope
out of the door, just like that,
Yeah.
and he was like, "You're hard scoping." No, it's fun.
No, it's a cool thing called skill.
Yeah.
Just like when we were playing Fortnite last time with him, and we were doing that Nuketown first-person like gun game.
Oh, he was getting mad.
He was getting so mad because he was just like, "Someone let me kill him so I can get off this gun." Like that's not how the game works. You
have
can't
to
ask someone to sit still and you get the kill. And he was always getting mad. He goes, "I damage everybody, then someone comes along and steals my kill."
Well, that's the game.
I'm like, so fully kill him next time.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Then he would always get mad. Right before I kill someone else kills me. And then he starts yelling at me. He goes, "Sean, stop! if I get killed one more time without moving up, then I'm gonna quit." He gets killed like 20 more times, and he's still playing the game. Like if you're gonna quit, just quit.
Yeah.
Leave. Like it's fine. But no.
We had 2 random people join. They were sweats.
They were teaming up. They were working together.
Then we started teaming up, and they're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
okay."
Yeah, but no, I enjoy playing games with Landon. He's funny.
Yeah.
And just who like I said,
He
nothing
says some
against
of the most out of pocket.
for real.
We're
Like,
not gonna go there.
We're not gonna go there. But the most out of pocket stuff. But no, he's like playing with him. It's fun and enjoyable.
But playing against him.
Playing against him, it's either like if he's winning, he's fine. But if he's losing, it's
That's how it is.
so. Being asked if we want biscuits right now.
Come on, biscuits, bring them in.
Just turns around and walks away.
Turns around. Hey, what's up, Kaya?
What's up, Kyle? You gonna say hi to the podcast? Hi
Want
to
to
the
say hi
camera.
to the podcast, Kaya?
There you go. Hi.
Freshly done biscuits.
Are they
Ooh.
poisoned?
They have some white
Decent.
Just so you know, this is Hezekiah.
That's
Come in here.
Cupcake.
Come into the video so they could see it. Get down here.
That's Cupcake.
This is Cupcake. He'll be on one of these days for one of our shows, and
Yeah.
we just have to get another $20 mic. I can't.
He can share. We can share.
Yeah, we can share.
Oh, that's like probably loud for you guys. I'm sitting there clicking the pen right next to the microphone.
Yeah.
Just sit beside him really close to his face.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Not eating.
We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for the biscuits, Cupcake.
I'm being serious when I say this right
I
now.
was just traumatized.
I'm being serious when I say this right now. Ashlyn was holding Cade, and Cade saw Hezekiah. Okay, Cade's my son. He's only 5 months old. We call Hezekiah Cupcake because
There's a story behind it, and we'll get to that here in a second.
but there's truth behind that. He has some cake.
You're not wrong. Kaya does have some cake on him. But that's
Ashlyn-
not why we call him Cupcake.
Ashlyn was holding Cade, my son,
Sorry about the glare, guys. Give me a second.
and I laugh every time. Cade was just smiling at Hezekiah, then Hezekiah started walking away. And I'm telling you, Cade's eyes were just glued to his butt. And he was just like this, following my brother around. He was like, just staring right at his butt.
He has that kind of power. I mean, like, I don't know what it is, but once Cupcake walks by, like, everyone's just follows him.
I'm hoping he does not get a white man or candy. He'd have them all. No, that's too far.
He'd have me, brother. He'd have me.
How much is the candy free? I'm
For-
coming.
I'm coming. I'm
I'd
on.
do anything for a piece of candy.
So we've been listening to the Bad Friends podcast,
Oh,
and of course Bobby Lee. You heard it here first. No, so we were listening to the episode, one of the podcasts that Bobby Lee did on someone else's podcast, and he was telling a specific story about when he was 9 years old. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it because obviously,
it threw me up when he said I'd do anything for a piece of candy.
exactly. So we're sitting there in the middle of work, just dying laughing. But no,
Randy
Cupcake got his name back when we were redoing Joe's room right at the beginning of COVID. Kaya fell asleep on the couch. Everyone is trying to wake Kaya up, and Mom was yelling at him saying, Kaya, you need to get up. Like, people want to sit down. We're having breakfast. So I walk up to Hezekiah, and I put my hand on his shoulder, just like this. And I kind of shake him a little bit. I was just like, come on, Cupcake, time to get up. And he wakes up perfectly fine. Like, everyone's like yelling at him and screaming at him like to get up, and he's not getting up. And then I called him Cupcake, and he woke up, and he goes, well, I was dreaming, then I heard Cupcake, so that's why I woke up. But either way, it just stuck. So we call him Cupcake. And
the goal is to get my son to call him Uncle Cake.
Uncle Cake.
Yeah. Because he does have some cake.
He does.
Yeah.
I don't know what that boy's been doing, but
God gave him a gift of booty.
he got the cake.
He got the cake.
It's okay, we can say it because we both have socks on, so it's not gay.
I got a sock on with a hole in it.
It's a little gay then for you to say that. It's a little gay. I got brand new socks on, fresh out the package, so they don't have holes in them.
Oh, that's the best.
Dude, it is. Nothing is greater than putting on a nice, cool, crisp pair of fresh socks. And when I say cool, crisp, I mean fresh out the package, chilled, like nice and cool from sitting out.
Out in the car.
Especially during the summer. And like you have to put your boots on and go outside to get some work done around the house and stuff. And you put on a nice cool pair of socks, you're just, feet are instantly cool. You're feeling good. Nothing like it, man.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
No, or waiting all year. And Christmas comes
Dude,
around.
Christmas. You know what?
And you get underwear and socks, and you're just
No,
the best day in the
no.
world.
What irritates you is when you purposely wait until the end of the year, Christmas time, and you're like, all right, I already know I'm gonna get socks, underwear. Like, so what's the point of me buying them? Christmas comes around and you don't get the underwear.
Oh, it's
Now you have to
heartbreaking.
go out and buy.
It is heartbreaking.
You're like, really? I waited all year for this,
excuse me, sir.
and I didn't get any. Like, really?
I'm happy.
Then you have all these little kids that are just like, oh wow, I got clothes. Like, be thankful. Like,
That was
if
the
I
best
open
part.
if I open up a Christmas present, like if Christmas was right now today, and you got me something, and I opened it up, and it was socks or a pack of underwear, I'm happy
I'm happy.
because that's one less thing I have to buy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly.
little kids are just like, oh no, I want toys, I want this, and it's like,
I wanted a new Xbox Series X. That was me.
Be grateful. Be grateful for what you get.
hmm Seriously.
Every day is a good day.
You don't know what your parents are going through to just get you a pack of underwear or socks.
Dude, underwear is not cheap anymore.
No, it's not.
Underwear or socks. Like, neither one's cheap.
I wouldn't be surprised if my parents went to the store and came back with no arm or no leg.
I mean,
Does it
dude,
cost them?
stuff costs so much nowadays. It really does. Sorry, guys. I let a little autism come out right there. My bad. But hey, you know what they say, Joe? Rism with autism.
If you don't got the Riz, you got the Tiz.
I don't have no riz. All I have is a truck, tism, and no money.
I got this.
I don't.
It's a ring.
I don't. But it's okay though. I'm okay being single. Sorry, there's a hair on my hat and it's bothering me.
No, I'm out here. He's dying inside.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm like, don't get me wrong. Being in a relationship is cool, and it would be nice. But at the same time, I'm fine being single.
Did you get the boys?
That's not where I was going, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like I don't have someone, tell me what I can and can't do. I don't have someone telling me what I can and can't spend money on. What? I'm just saying, because you got to think like that's like I don't need that.
It's just communication between.
Yeah. Like I want someone that will sit there and be like, huh, what's that other project car doing sitting in the driveway?
Oh, I know what
Like,
you mean.
and then not be scared
You want
to
someone.
explain it.
You want someone to buy you a new project car and buy you the parts.
Now listen, that would be cool. Don't get me wrong, that'd be cool. But no, I want someone to understand, like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. 13 other projects car wasn't enough. So the 14th one makes sense. Yeah. Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Not you have one, you don't need another.
Yeah.
No. Because that project car gets lonely. So you got to get another one. And then those two get lonely. So they need a third one to hang out with. And then they just keep getting lonelier. You got to expand the friendship, the friend circle of the project cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm fine being single. I'm happy being single. Because I get to worry about myself, me, myself, and I. But then
You have
again,
to work on yourself.
yeah, but then again, when it's late at night and you're laying by yourself, staring at your ceiling, you're like, wow, wish I had someone to hold me right now. And then you cry yourself to sleep.
You're a big dude. You're a big dude.
I want to be Little Spoon sometimes.
It's the best.
Dude,
Sometimes I curl over and I'm like,
if a guy ever says he does not enjoy being Little Spoon ladies, he is lying.
every guy likes it.
Let your man be Little Spoon once in a while. See how much he appreciates it. If you let him be Little Spoon, who knows? You might be getting flowers the next day. I'm just saying, if I was Little Spoon, brother, she's getting flowers the next day.
Facts.
Or some chocolates.
Facts.
Like, I know I'm a big tough guy, but I like being held once in a while.
Not a foot to the back.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Dude, when girls put their cold feet on your legs, like when she just like rolls over and puts them like right on your leg, you're like, ooh. especially when you got like shorts on too, and it is the worst.
Well, we kind of did a rundown on a lot of stuff today. So we went from youth retreat to the car to the Uber driver. What else did we cover? Then Call of Duty stories
Yeah,
and Cupcake.
just random stories.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, nothing too particular.
No.
Um,
Nothing was planned out. We only had this up
if we wanted to look
just in
something up,
case we needed to look something up.
not like in case we needed to, just if we wanted to.
We kind of had topics to kind of talk about.
Like, not gonna lie, yeah,
there.
we wrote.
We didn't write a script out. Don't worry.
No, it was just points to bring up. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
talk about all the points.
And we did all that when we sat down and got everything set up.
Yeah.
We just said, "What are we talking about today?"
That way, like, if we forgot like what we wanted to talk about,
yeah,
or
kind of
if
stay
we-
on topic.
Yeah, yeah. So stay on point. That way, we're not sitting here like, what are we talking about now? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, but
What
that's
we got-
that's closing, man. Yeah,
it really is. Yeah. So this episode, these are probably going to be the normal lengths of our episodes.
yeah.
So,
I'm just saying it did not feel like 56 minutes right there.
so honestly, what I think we should do is let's do calls.
If we want to, yeah.
So if you guys want to be part of our podcast, send us a DM on Instagram and reach out. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then
We can set
we'll
up
reach
calls.
back and we'll call them and just say like, hey, what's up? You know, how's it going?
But if they want to come in person, they can come in person too.
if you're close
Yeah,
and want to be featured on it, yeah, just reach out. Instagram is hollerboys_official. TikTok is hollerboysofficial. Podcast is hollerboysofficial.
yeah.
Live from the holler.
And this will be posted today. So
Yeah, it'll be up today. Trying to think of everything else.
Spotify,
Merch.
YouTube. Oh yeah, merch.
Yeah, YouTube. Holler Boys Official.
Yeah,
The merch is
the Holler Boys official on Fourth Wall. Just
Yeah,
look up
so-
Holler Boys official.
just
Fourth Wall?
Yeah, just go on Google, type in Holler Boys Official Fourth Wall. Should pop up. You'll see our logo is the same, like
On every profile.
on every profile we have. So if you find one that's a different logo, then that's not us.
Yeah.
And if you don't see Joe and I's beautiful faces,
What are you talking about?
well, my beautiful face and Joe's face.
Kids. I'm just kidding.
I'm older than you.
I know.
But if you don't see our wonderful, great faces, then you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So if you buy merch, if you please DM us on Instagram, like we said before,
Just show,
just pictures.
just show some support.
You don't have to be in the pictures. If you want to be in the pictures, that's fine too. Just we would like to see the merch that you bought and send you a special thanks.
Yeah. And remember, all proceeds to the merch go right to the church here.
Yep.
That's where we're filming the podcast.
Yeah. So episode 1's here in the church. We're gonna try to like rotate where
different
we go.
places. We have the ability to.
Different places like around town. So like when the weather's nice, we'll go down to the park and stuff,
Yeah.
and we'll do it there. And we're gonna mix it up. That way, you're not seeing the same thing
So it's different.
over and over. But yeah, like Joe said, all proceeds from the merch go here to the church, to the youth,
Yeah.
because we got to take care of the youth.
We really do. They're the next generation.
They're the next generations, and they're going to be the ones taking care of us when
Yeah.
we're older. So we got to take care of them.
But yeah, we
And-
appreciate you all coming to the holler.
Yeah. With that, remember you're loved, appreciated,
For real.
and if you need help, reach out.
Yeah. We'll catch you later, guys.
Peace.